Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our video. In this video, we will discuss about fasting state metabolism by the member of our group, Citra Nofitasari, Wan Nurina Azahra, Raudhatul Jannah, and Muhammad Rifqi Syarif. First, we will discuss what is the fasting state. The fasting state occurs when the body has not received food for more than 12 hours. During this state, the body releases on internal energy reserved to support vital function. So, the overview of metabolic phase during fasting. The body undergoes several phases during fasting, like phase time frame, primary source of energy. The first, post-absorptive, between 0 up to 6 hours. This is dietary glucose. For the second, glyconeolysis, and this is between 6 up to 24 hours, liver glycogen. So the number third, gluconeogenesis, this is more than 24 hours. This is about amino acid, lactate, and glycerol. And the last, for number 4, ketogenesis, this is more than 48 hours, which is fatty acids become ketones.
For the first phase of time frame, primary source of energy is the post-absorptive stage. This is take time for about 0 until 6 hours. Energy is derived from glucose absorbed during the last meal. Excess glucose is stored as glycone in the liver and muscle. This phase is metabolically stable and relies on the recent food intake. And the second phase is glycogenolysis. This takes time for about 6 until 24 hours. The liver breaks down glycone into glucose via glycogenolysis. Glucose is released into the bloodstream to supply energy to the brain and the red blood cells. This is the primary mechanism to maintain normal plasma glucose during short-term fasting.
Okay guys, and I'm here. I wanna explain you about phase 2, which is glycogenolysis, 6 to 24 hours. Okay, after approximately 6 hours without food, the body begins to shift into what is known as the early fasting state. So at this point, glucose from the last meal has already been absorbed and used or stored, and no new glucose is entering the bloodstream from the digestive system. So, however, certain cells in the body, especially the brain and red blood cells, still require a continuous supply of glucose to function. And then, to maintain stable blood glucose levels, the liver becomes the central organ responsible. It does so by activating a process called glycogenolysis, which is literally means the breakdown of glycogen. And glycogen is a store from a glucose, consisting of long chains and glucose molecules, and is primarily stored in the liver and skeletal muscles in response to low insulin and raising glucagon levels. The liver begins to break down its glycogen stores into free glucose molecules that are then released into the bloodstream. However, the liver's glycogen store is limited. In most adults, it can support normal blood glucose level for roughly 12 to 18 hours and up to 24 hours at most, depending on individual factors like physical activity, liver size, and prior diet. Once glycogen reserves begin to run low, the body gradually transitions to another process called gluconeogenesis, where new glucose is synthesized from non-carbohydrate source. So, in summary, phase 2 of fasting, 6 to 24 hours, is dominated by glycogenolysis, the breakdown of liver glycogen into glucose. So this process plays a critical role in ensuring the body, especially the brain and red blood cells, continues to receive adequate energy during short-term fasting. It is the body's first line of defense in maintaining glucose homeostasis in the absence of dietary intake.
Next, phase 4, ketogenesis. More than 48 hours, the body begins to utilize fat more intensively, and then the fatty acids are converted into ketone bodies in the liver, and then ketones become a major fuel for the brain, reducing glucose demand. And this helps conserve muscle tissues and protein. And then hormonal regulation during fasting. Glucagon to stimulate glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. Cortisol and epinephrine to enhance fat breakdown and glucose production. Insulin to decreases to prevent glucose uptake or storage. And then these hormones coordinate the shift from carbohydrate to fat metabolism and support stable glucose levels. In the phase 3, gluconeogenesis, more than 24 hours. First, glycogen stores become depleted, and then second, the liver produces glucose through gluconeogenesis using first amino acid from muscle protein breakdown, and then lactate from anaerobic glycolysis, and then glycerol from triglyceride in adipose tissue. And then third, gluconeogenesis ensures a continuous supply of glucose to critical tissues.
And then, how the body maintains blood glucose during fasting? When we stop eating for a while, whether we are skipping a meal or intentionally fasting, our body still needs glucose to function, especially for our brain and red blood cells, which depend heavily on it. To deal with this, your body has a smart system to keep blood sugar levels stable. In the first 0 to 24 hours after our last meal, our body uses glycogen stored in the liver to make glucose. This process is called glycogenolysis. It provides enough glucose to keep our body running normally, especially for the brain. This is the main source of glucose during the short-term fasting. After about 24 hours, our liver's glycogen stores start to run out. At this point, our body begins to make glucose from other sources, like amino acids from protein, glycerol from fat, and lactate, through a process called gluconeogenesis. This becomes the main way our body keeps making glucose during prolonged fasting. If fasting continues for more than maybe 48 hours, the body starts to produce ketone bodies from fat. These ketones become an alternative fuel, especially for the brain. This helps reduce how much glucose our body needs and help protect our muscle from breaking down too much. Throughout this process, the body works hard to keep blood sugar in a normal range, usually around 70 to 100 milligram per day, even without food. This is a key survival mechanism that helps we stay alert and functional during fasting. Okay.